Good afternoon. This time that I've been here, back home, New York, Jersey, it's been such an uplifting moment for me. I live in Atlanta now, and to save myself and my children, I had to move from home and found a home in Atlanta. I was 11 years old. The little girl was 11 when he raped her mouth. And she had to figure out what did that mean when a 50-year-old man would find an 11-year-old girl's mouth a place to stick his slithering, slimy, long thrusting, wet tongue down her throat that almost choked her to death. And then to try to figure out, where do you place all that? I'm 11. Why are you even interested in doing something like that to an 11-year-old girl? Who do I tell? I don't even know that there's someone I'm supposed to tell. How do I explain what he just did to me? And he continued to do that to me, taking me in the kitchen, taking me in the bathroom, just taking me wherever. I would be outside playing jacks. I would be outside jumping rope. And I had to always remember not to get caught in the house by myself. But you know, I was a kid, so of course I forgot. I forgot to protect myself when I went back into the house by myself. Because see, in my day, we played outside a lot. We didn't have computers. You know, we didn't have those things. I'm still technologically not functioning. So it was difficult for an 11-year-old girl, for a 12-year-old girl, to manage what this grown man was doing to me, to manage how to protect the other people. But my biggest fear was for no one to find out. I could not afford for anybody to find out the yucky, nasty, dirty stuff he was doing to me. The innocence and the playfulness that I once had was now replaced with embarrassment, shame, and fear. And always feeling like, because my body developed at 11 years old, because I had breasts, because I had a butt, maybe that's what interested him. Maybe my body developed too early. And so I always tried to find ways to make my butt smaller, if that was a way to do that. I always tried to find ways to cover up my breast, if there was a way to do that. Because see, the rape continued from 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, with a house full of people. And when I did find the courage to tell, at the age of 13, to the person who was supposed to protect me, the response that came is, what I'm telling is true, or if what I'm saying is true, he could go to jail. There was more interest in what was going to happen to him than what was going to happen to me. And I knew in that moment, at 13 years old, that I was on my own for the rest of my life, that I would have to be my own protector for the rest of my life, over and against all the adults who claim to love you, all the adults who claim to be your protector, all the adults who claim to have the answers in my own community. And then as I've grown, the little girl has always been my protector. The little girl has always been my friend. The little girl has always had a voice. She never allowed the rape of her body, the rape of her mouth, the rape of her spirit to suffer. She found ways to protect herself. Her family was storytellers. She learned a long time ago how to become a storyteller. Because see, in my family, storytelling got you attention. If you could tell a great story with some humor, you got attention after 23 kids is in the family. So I learned how to tell stories very well. And I learned how to find a sense of humor real quick. And I learned how to put myself in school and get involved in activities. And I became the top track star, as I call myself, the track star, in Jersey. I loved hearing my name over the intercom, to hear LaVon Morris. She broke this record last weekend, right over in New York Armory. LaVon Morris did this, LaVon Morris did that. I loved hearing my name, because hearing my name let me know I was still here. Let me know that even though he was still raping me when I go home, but here I could find some sense of space, some sense of peace, some sense of safety, even though I couldn't tell any adults what he was doing to me. And I still don't always speak about my sexual assault. But as a grown woman, as I grew, I met a wonderful man, got married, had 3 wonderful children. And then that black man tried to kill me. That black man shot me 4 times in front of my 3 beautiful babies. That black man shot me once in the head. That bullet went from one side of my head to the other side, where it still remains today. That black man shot me in my butt. And you know, I always say thank God for a black woman's butt. I tell you, because that was the bullet they couldn't find, unfortunately. They found it later, though. And he shot me in my thigh. And then he shot me in my foot. And then he just kept shooting and shooting and shooting. And 4 bullets hit me. And I stand here today with a bullet in my head and a bullet in my foot. And my children, who were 14, 7, and 4, their names are Marquise, Corey, and Sharia. And they are my true heroes. That's who I give honor to. That's why I speak out, because I had to. I had to find ways to break the generational cycle. Not just the curse, but just the whole cycle in my family of violence. The cycle of no one talking about this in our communities. The cycle of figuring out how, as a black woman, I'm going to stand up against the culture of what taught me was to love a black man, but it's the black man that's killing me. How do I do that? How do I keep protecting the black man who won't protect me? How do we go back to our communities today and we always have to protect the black man from the brutalities of the police? They told me in my culture when I was growing up as a little girl that what stays in the community, we have to keep it there, because the enemy, once they come in, they're going to kill us and murder us and beat us. But our black men were murdering us, killing us, and beating us. So who's going to come in to protect the black woman? Who's going to stand up for her and speak for her? So I let my little girl stand. I let her voice stand loud and proud and sure of who she is, and all the pain. And all the pain that she endured, and all the pain that her daughter will probably endure. But I stand in the gap for my daughter. I stand in the gap for my sons. I stand in the gap for my sisters, for us to be in solidarity, for us to be in freedom, for us to find love, for us to find healing. Because we can't go back, and we can't leave this space, Farrah. We can't leave this space the way we came. We can't. I've been doing this for 20 years. I go to conference after conference. I speak to audience of white women all day long. I'm sick of their white privilege, and that's okay if they want to have it, but I can't keep going to conferences and going back home and there's no change. So my little girl, she speaks to you. Where's your little girl? Find your little girl. Love your little girl. Find healing for her, because there is a place for her in this space. There's a place for all of us in this space. And particularly as black women, there's a place, because we hold this. We hold this. And so I just want to leave you all and thank you all so much for allowing our voices to be heard, for allowing us to be in this space with you today, for allowing me and my sisters to be a part of this planning, this program. So I thank Black Women's Blueprint for allowing our voices to come as far away and as close away, to be here with you on these steps this afternoon. So in solidarity, just know that we are free. We are free to speak. We are free to be who we are. So I thank you so very much.
LaVon. Sister, we see you, we honor you, we thank you. Today has most certainly been an expression of freedom through connected liberation. Many little girls broke free today, and you had a part in that process. The commissioners stand with you in creating more paths to freedom, liberation, and for little black girls to be free. And let me add that as a commissioner here with the BWTRC, this is actually genuinely an historic moment. I need you all to be cognizant of this, all right? This, in the history of this country, we have never done this in this manner before, okay? Round of applause for that. We need to give respect to Black Women's Blueprint for galvanizing this for a number of years. This is a process, about 6 years to get to this day. I want to also thank all the sister survivors who came up here, told their truth. All right?
Yes. Woo!
I urge you all to take time to reflect on this day, talk to your sister friends, blast this on social media and let people know this is happening. Hashtag BWTRC, let them know, okay? I thank everyone for coming here today, and please continue to support us over the next 2 days as we continue to speak out our truth against state violence against Black women. All right, thank you very much.